Hey everybody, Jerry here, Greystone Trading. I'm going to show you the 3 trades that I took today that made me a little bit over $2,700. Now, I trade every day from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then I also trade the 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. session. So if you're interested in learning how I trade, feel free to click the link below and you can sign up for this. So I'm going to break these down really easily for you guys. It was 3 simple trades. We had some very unusual contract moving on the first one and on the third one. So I got out of the trades a little bit earlier. I didn't get quite the percentages I was looking for or wanted. However, make the best do what you can. The setups were great. The A plus setups. The follow through was fantastic. The SPY moved very, very quickly. However, the contracts did not move very quickly with that. So I'm just going to break it down to you guys and let you guys see exactly what I did in real time. Now, all the levels are set from the aftermarket and the pre-market. I had the pre-market low marked, which is the London market. I had the aftermarket marked, which was from Friday's session. Oh, I just moved it right there. I'll put it back. Which was from Friday's session, and that's what the Asian market is. So I had the PDL highs, the PDL lows. My support and my resistance, I moved off of this just so I could explain to you guys exactly how I established that in real time. So market opens. I don't trade until at least the 10 a.m. window. If we have a news candle, I'll wait till 10:05, and very, very rarely will I trade before 10. If I see a really good high quality setup, sometimes I'll take the close of the 9:55 candle going into, the close of the 9:50 candle going into 9:55. But I really like to wait for the market to kind of tip its hand and tell me which direction it's going so I can get the highest probability win. So I had established a really high level of support over here, and I had to put it up high, and I had marked it right at the top of this wick, as you guys can see, at 9:35. And then I put my resistance right on top of these 2 bodies. And I actually had it a little bit lower down here, right below that previous day open that you guys can see. But I'm going to put it right here for you guys so it's a little bit easier to see. And I'll zoom in on this so it's a little bit clearer. So we got this beautiful firm candle close here at 10 o'clock. This candle closes up above it, and it closes here at the end at 10:05. And we got this really nice distribution up. So it went from 684.24. And this green wick the top of this red wick went all the way to 684.92. So from 684.21 where I got filled at, I was only to capture about 11 to 12 cents of profit on that move. I think I actually got a little bit more than that. However, the contracts did not move nearly as favorable. That's typically a half off to 3/4 trade. And when I trade, I go in with a very predetermined plan of what SPY is going to do. If SPY closes above my resistance level, I'm taking the trade with looking for an 8 to 12% on my first exit, a 12 to 15% on my second exit, and then I'll trail my stops as high as I possibly can to maximize the most out of that trade. So that was the first setup I took. Then, as SPY kept moving up, I had reestablished a new level of a new level of resistance, and I had moved up my support level, and now I had this higher level here. And this candle comes down. This candle closes really nicely, but this was not a firm candle. So I'm always looking for a firm candle where the body is bigger than the lower bound wick for my puts, or the body is now bigger than my upper bound wick for my calls. So that's just part of my criteria to get in this, and that just insinuates to me that the sellers are in control of that candle when I enter, or the buyers are in control if I'm entering into calls. So I did get this one here. Got this really nice firm candle here after it closed below it on the next candle. And I wish I could have got into it a little bit earlier, but we weren't able to. And this candle did actually distribute down really nicely. And I was able to get 3/4 of a trade on this one. And my trailers, I actually had a bit higher than my break even. So it was actually a really good trade. But I wasn't able to maximize the full thing to what I liked it to do, but I got really good profits on that. And then my third trade came in and set up. And I had reestablished after that candle closed. I had moved support back down to the bottom of these bodies here, where you guys can see where it was my old resistance level that when I took this candle here, this was the level that I had marked from the support level earlier in the session that matches and coincided perfectly with 9:35, the bottom of the bodies. And this green wick comes and rejects it. And that was now allowing me to get to support. And then I had moved I had moved my level back over here, and I'd put it back to where my old level was. And that was where I was using my support. So when support becomes resistance, resistance can become support. That's always a really nice telltale sign of mine of where the levels will intermatch with each other and they'll intermingle. And it kind of tips its hand because the market always moves in like these steps. It just doesn't do these one big directions up or these one big directions downs. And we're looking to catch one or two candles to move that. So it's scalping at its finest, in my opinion. However, I was able to get in here, this beautiful firm candle close here. And once again, I took the trade, but I wasn't able to capture the whole move here on this candle that closed at 1040. It moved up really nicely. The contracts just did not distribute right. There was a lot of implied volatility from the morning sessions and maybe the attacks on Iran, and the market was kind of poised for that. But overall, it was a really good session. So I'll show you again right here. My first entry was the close of the 10 o'clock candle, and I was able to capture this move here, which was really nice. And then I was able to capture the puts when it closed below that other level I had, which was here. And that was a really good move. That one was a 3/4 trade. And at this point, I was able to capture on the last move here when this one closed above, when that one closed above there. These are all really quick there. And I was able to get this rocket one up here. But like I said, just not the proper contract movements to what we normally get. But between all of that, those three trades, I was able to make $2,700 plus, a little bit over that on that. So it set up really nicely. The price action was really clean. Just the follow through with the contracts, the way they were moving, was not our best scenario that we've ever had. However, we had a nice green morning. We had a really good afternoon session that we went into, and I'll make another video about that. My good friend Ryan that I trade with, he's the one who led the afternoon session, and he also has 4 sessions that he leads a week where I lead 4, and then the owner of the company, which is who taught me how to trade, Andy, and also Ryan taught me how to trade. They're the ones who lead the other sessions. So if you're interested in for learning from me, please click the link below, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through on a daily basis of how we do this.